There are few things more impressive than the high-powered roar of a Formula One engine, and over the storied history of the sport, some engines have truly made a lasting impact in incredible ways. You know the names of the drivers of these incredible machines, but today we're looking under the hood at the 10 engines that have powered the most F1 victories. Introduced in 1995, the Renault RS7 V10 powered the Benetton B195 to an incredible season, becoming a key player in Michael Schumacher's second World Drivers' Championship and Benetton's first Constructors' title. The engine packed a lot of power. It was a 3.0-liter naturally aspirated V10 with a compact 67-degree design. It cranked out between 675 and 700 horsepower, reaching an ear-piercing 15,600 RPM. That's the kind of power that makes you sit up and take notice. Engines back then could be temperamental, but the RS7 seemed to thrive under pressure. And it wasn't just about raw speed. This engine was versatile. It could handle everything Formula One tracks threw at it, from long, high-speed straights to those tricky, tight corners where precision mattered most. Schumacher was on fire that year, winning 9 races, but his teammate, Johnny Herbert, wasn't far behind, snagging 2 victories of his own. All told, the RS7 powered a whopping 16 wins during its use. That's domination. The RS7's seamless pairing with the Benetton B195's sleek aerodynamics was a powerful duo, cementing their place in racing history. The Climax FPF L4 powerhouse first appeared in the 1950s, built as a 1.5-liter engine for Formula 2. With some clever tweaks to its bore and stroke, the FPF grew to sizes ranging from 1,475cc to a beefy 2,497. At its peak, it could pump out up to 239 horsepower at 6,750 RPM. That is a lot of punch for its time. What really made the FPF special was how compact and lightweight it was. It wasn't just about raw power, it was about how it let cars like the Cooper T51 completely outmaneuver bigger, heavier competitors. This engine didn't just keep up with the big boys, it redefined what was possible on the track. If you know Jack Brabham, you probably know he won 2 straight Formula One World Championships in 1959 and 1960, driving FPF-powered Coopers. That cemented the engine's place in racing history. And it wasn't just Brabham. Legends like Sterling Moss and Maurice Trintignant also took FPF-powered cars to victory. In total, the FPF grabbed 18 Grand Prix wins. It wasn't limited to Formula One either. This engine was a multitasker, showing its versatility in sports car races and even at the legendary Indianapolis 500. As racing rules evolved, the FPF adapted and stayed competitive, influencing the design of racing engines for years to come. A recent entry in the F1 world, the Honda RBT H001 V6 turbo hybrid engine has already created an impressive legacy for itself. Honda first introduced a V6 turbo hybrid in 2015, marking their big comeback to Formula One during the hybrid era. It was cutting-edge tech, using recycled energy from braking and heat to give the car an extra boost. But if we're being honest, the early days weren't exactly smooth. Honda partnered with McLaren and things didn't go as planned. The engine struggled with reliability and its performance just couldn't match the competition. It got so bad that even McLaren publicly criticized it, which must have been tough for Honda. But they didn't give up. Honda kept working, tweaking, and improving. In 2018, they started a new chapter with Red Bull Racing and Scuderia AlphaTauri, and things began to change. This led to a deeper collaboration between Honda and Red Bull powertrains, which unveiled the H001 V6 in 2023. The engine was a huge success, racking up an incredible 21 wins in a single season, earning a Constructors' Championship as well as a Drivers' Championship for Max Verstappen. Back in the 1960s, when F1 was shifting to smaller, lighter engines under the new 1.5-liter regulations, Coventry Climax rose to the challenge. The FWMV first hit the track in 1962 and quickly became a favorite, racking up an impressive 22 Grand Prix wins over its career. That's not just a good run, that's domination. The engine wasn't just about raw power, it was all about being lightweight, compact, and efficient. The aluminum block kept it light, while the engineering, especially for that time, was cutting edge. The early versions were 2-valve engines, cranking out around 180 horsepower at a dizzying 9,500 RPM. Later, they stepped it up with a 4-valve version that pushed the output closer to 200 horsepower. For such a small engine, it packed a serious punch and had a power-to-weight ratio that made it the go-to choice for teams like Lotus, Cooper, Brabham, and Lola. And then there was Jim Clark. If you know anything about Formula One, you know Clark was one of the all-time greats. With the FWMV under the hood, he won race after race, securing his world championships in 1963 and 1965 with the iconic Lotus 25 and Lotus 33. But it wasn't just Clark who made this engine shine. Drivers like Jack Brabham and Bruce McLaren also put it to great use, showcasing its incredible performance. Unfortunately, 1966 brought new rules with bigger 3-liter engines, and Coventry Climax decided to step away from Formula One. Even though its time on the grid was relatively short, the FWMV left a lasting legacy. The TAC Porsche turbo engine, officially known as the TTEP01, was a game-changer in Formula One during the 1980s. Developed by Porsche for McLaren and funded by Technique d'Avant-Garde, or TAG, this 1.5-liter V6 turbo made its debut in 1983 and quickly became the benchmark for performance. Over its time in the sport, it powered McLaren to 25 Grand Prix wins, 3 Constructors' Championships in a row from 1984 to 1986, and Drivers' Championships for Niki Lauda in 1984, and Alain Prost in both 1985 and 1986. That is dominance on another level. This engine was all about precision and raw power. It featured twin KKK turbochargers, state-of-the-art Bosch electronic fuel injection, and advanced electronics for its time. On race days, it delivered around 750 horsepower, but during qualifying, it cranked out over 1,000 horsepower. Just think about that. More than 1,000 horsepower from a 1.5-liter engine. It was ferocious yet reliable, which made it a nightmare for competitors on both high-speed circuits and more technical tracks. The drivers who had this beast behind them weren't just good, they were some of the best. Niki Lauda, Alain Prost, and even Keke Rosberg showed the world what this engine could do. And then there's the McLaren MP4 car that housed this engine and all those victories, cementing its legacy in F1 history. The Ferrari 015 V12 was everything you'd expect from Ferrari during Formula 1's V12 era. Raw power, incredible sound, and engineering that pushed the limits. This 3.5-liter naturally aspirated engine ran from 1989 to 1995, and it wasn't just about speed. It was about creating something unforgettable. With up to 700 horsepower and an ear-shattering 15,000 RPM, this engine turned every race into a symphony of horsepower. During its time, the 015 V12 powered Ferrari to 27 race wins. Drivers like Jean Alesi, Alain Prost, and Gerard Berger showed what this engine was capable of. If you think back to 1990, that was when Ferrari came so close to taking the championship. They didn't quite get there, but the battle against McLaren and Williams was one for the history books. What made this engine stand out wasn't just its raw power, it was also its reliability. While other engines might have been faster on paper, the 015 V12 could consistently handle the stress of a full race, and it was versatile too, performing well on different types of tracks. But like anything, it wasn't perfect. Fuel efficiency wasn't its strong suit, and as the 1990s rolled on, smaller turbocharged engines started stealing the spotlight. Still, the Ferrari 015 V12 left its mark. It wasn't just an engine, it was a piece of Ferrari's soul, a reminder of an era when Formula 1 was as much about the roar of the engines as it was about speed. The Ferrari 056 V8 engine, developed for Formula 1 between 2006 and 2013, represents a pivotal chapter in Ferrari's illustrious racing history. Introduced during the transition to naturally aspirated 2.4-liter V8 engines, it was engineered with a 90-degree configuration, producing an impressive 730 to 800 horsepower, depending on the season and tuning adjustments. Notable for its lightweight design and cutting-edge materials, the 056 powered some of Ferrari's most iconic cars, such as the F248 and F2007. Its debut season in 2006 saw Michael Schumacher and Felipe Massa push its limits, with Schumacher achieving 7 victories that year. By 2007, with further refinement, Kimi Raikkonen claimed the World Drivers' Championship and Ferrari secured the Constructors' Championship, highlighting the engine's reliability and performance. The engine amassed a total of 39 wins across its lifespan, competing against formidable rivals in one of Formula 1's most competitive eras. Key drivers associated with the Ferrari 056 include legends like Schumacher, Massa, Raikkonen, and Fernando Alonso. When Mercedes-Benz unveiled their V6 hybrid engine in 2014, the Formula 1 world experienced a major shift. The introduction of the turbocharged 1.6-liter V6 hybrid engine marked the beginning of a period where cutting-edge hybrid technology truly meshed with brilliant performance. The engine combined an internal combustion V6 with a turbocharger and an energy recovery system, which harnessed kinetic and heat energy to generate additional power. Power output varied depending on the race, but it could reach around 900 horsepower, with the ERS system adding an extra 160 horsepower during bursts of acceleration. The combination of performance and efficiency was nothing short of remarkable, enabling Mercedes to dominate the sport in a way never before seen. From 2014 onwards, the engine powered Mercedes to 7 consecutive Constructors' Championships and solidified the dominance of drivers like Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Over its era, the Mercedes V6 hybrid secured an astonishing 51 race wins, making it one of the most successful engines in Formula 1 history. Hamilton's stunning victory at the 2014 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and Nico Rosberg's championship-clinching performance in 2016 at Yas Marina are just 2 examples of its capabilities. The hybrid power unit's ability to maintain high performance throughout a race, combined with impressive fuel efficiency, set a new standard in F1 engineering. The Renault RS27 V8 engine, introduced during the 2007 Formula 1 season, marked a significant chapter in F1's naturally aspirated era. Built under strict regulations limiting displacements to 2.4 liters and RPM to 19,000, this engine was optimized for peak performance and reliability. With an output of approximately 750 horsepower at 18,000 RPM, the RS27 was a marvel of engineering designed for efficiency and longevity, often covering 2,000 kilometers before requiring significant maintenance. The RS27 achieved 52 wins between 2007 and 2013, primarily powering Red Bull racing cars to dominance. Its most celebrated years were from 2010 to 2013, when Sebastian Vettel clinched 4 consecutive Drivers' Championships, and Red Bull Racing secured 4 Constructors' titles. Notable drivers using the RS27 included Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel, who displayed its unmatched balance of power and reliability on tracks worldwide. A standout feature of the RS27 was its adaptability, as it powered multiple teams, including Renault's factory team and Red Bull Racing. In the world of motorsports, few engines can ever hope to attain the legendary status of the Ford Cosworth DFV. Launched in 1967, this V8 engine became the heart of Formula One for nearly 2 decades, setting the stage for its enduring legacy. Designed by the engineering team at Cosworth, led by Mike Constant and Keith Duckworth, the DFV revolutionized F1 racing by offering a perfect mix of power, lightness, and affordability. Delivering around 400 horsepower in its early years, it wasn't just the raw power that set the DFV apart, but its consistency. The engine's reliability allowed users to race longer without major issues, making it a racer's favorite. This remarkable 3.0-liter V8 engine powered cars to an impressive 155 Grand Prix victories, 12 Drivers' Championships, and 10 Constructors' Championships. Jim Clark won its debut race in the Lotus 49 and continued to demonstrate its potential. Graham Hill, Jackie Stewart, Emerson Fittipaldi, James Hunt, Mario Andretti, and Nelson Piquet were all champions whose cars were powered by the DFV. The DFV's 3.0-liter displacement and lightweight design made it suitable for both high-speed circuits and challenging races. During its 18-year run, it became the backbone of F1, powering 155 Grand Prix victories and 12 Drivers' Championships. So there you have it, the engines that powered the most victories in Formula One history. Did any on the list surprise you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on all our latest videos. Catch you in the next one.